Oh.
Do it again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back in. I know you've been dying to get back to this Coronado deal, and so I'm going to show you the last few videos. I've been right here shooting with the Coronado. It's not here. You know where it is? It's inside there. Now, before we get started, if I look a little rough, it's because I am, or I feel that way. I had a load yesterday, drove most of the day, drove a bunch of the night to get back here. I'm kind of swinging up through my way home, and Joe called and he's like, hey man, it's time to drop this motor in. Now, a couple things you're gonna remember when we pulled the motor out, we used Joe's little service truck, and you remember it was all that thing could do. We finagled that thing out of there. We've decided to be safe since the motor is built, and I'm gonna show it to you in a minute, you guys. It's beautiful. Well, I know before with the paint job, you're probably wondering like, now that it's got the accessories on, it's just, the paint is cured. It's really looking the way I wanted it to. Joe's brought a friend over who has basically a heavy equipment repair independent diesel shop, and he's got a big service truck with a heavy crane on it. We're gonna use that heavy crane to get this motor in. There's no sense in me talking anymore. I'm gonna walk through this door and show you this motor. Wouldn't you agree? Turned out good, huh? You guys, we're back. Joe?
What's going on?
Dude, I like it. It came together. Even after I got done painting it, I wasn't sure. I was like, yeah, but the paint, I feel like it's cured and like darkened or something, and just kind of, I mean, getting all the accessories on it.
Yeah, it's different.
It looks good. So here we are. We got to get this engine rigged up. Here's the heavy service truck. We're gonna go up and in. I think we're going to be able to do this really nice and carefully because we got all the power. Ready? All right. So if you look up there, you see this shop has these cross beams. Anyway, we were on this side of that cross beam. We had to shift the truck over. I think we got everything balanced about right now, so I'm gonna rehook, pull, and drop. I think Joe can just straighten it out if you hit it. We'll just pull it down and fix it. Yep. So when you're setting this in, you got 3 points that you gotta settle in back here. That's what's called a motor mount. It's a little cradle, one on this side, one on the other side, and then down here in the front, same deal. Motor mount, gotta get it set on the pad, start the bolts. Well, there she sits. Look at that. Cute as a button. Purple. Purple. I know that some of you still aren't sold on the purple. But look at that. See? My man. My man, not only is he a strong lifter, he's got impeccable taste when it comes to engine colors. Okay, well, lickety split. There it is. It's getting closer and getting closer. You guys, Joe's been so good to be so patient with this project for a couple reasons. One, if you're a mechanic out there, you know some of these creatures that never seem to leave your care, like this truck. I can't even remember. The 30-day sticker expired at the end of December, so this truck has been here since, it's been here a long time. Joe's great for a couple of reasons. One, that, he's put up with that. And two, that he's been patient enough to let me come and film as we do things. He's let me schedule it around, hey, motor's ready. When do you want to come down? Well, I'll come down now or whatever. He's been good about that. We got to button everything up. We're going to stick the radiator in, which is right here. Joe's bringing his service truck in to crane it in. Get the charge air cooler on. This whole front end has to get put together. So first things first over here, this is the remnants of the old system, right? This is the remnants. Got a couple good exhaust tips. That's about it. That's about the only, there's a couple pieces of pipe in here that you could cut and use, but man, a lot of rust. Stuff like this though, look here. And this is the kind of stuff when you're trucking, you gotta watch out for. This is a Y pipe that was right underneath the cab, more or less. And see that big crack? If you gotta run your truck all night long because it's, below zero, or it's 9,000 degrees in Arizona or down in deep Texas or something, and you have stuff like this. There's a few stories of I don't know any truckers that have died from it, but I know a few that have gotten sick from it. The truck has a really great sound because it had this little baby muffler. And I'm kind of debating between leaving it straight piped and putting a muffler on. Probably should put a little resonator on it. In fact, I have one. I have a performance resonator I forgot at home. Yeah, this was the best one. This is one of the crowning jewels, right, Joe, of the exhaust. This was the exhaust clamp that went around the muffler, except for there was a good gap all the way around. It was not tight, it would rattle around. Prior to tearing all that stuff out, the exhaust had run from here. There's a nice down pipe that goes down, and then it would run underneath here. Okay, try to follow me here for a second. So they sent, the pipe came out here and it went down below underneath here. It dove clear down to there, and then it went back and came up and then shot back behind here. See that little bracket over there? That little half moon bracket? That was part of the old system, and looped around in and then out and up. So Master Joseph, in his infinite wisdom, I just don't understand why this wasn't their design to start with, but we'll come right down off the turbo. We're just gonna more or less pipe right across here. Gonna hang it on this bracket to get it up off the frame rail. Becomes like one of the most simple exhaust systems all of a sudden, where it's just straight back, goes each direction, left and right, out and up. So then these heat shields here, they go over the top. I think heat shields nowadays are cool. I think they're coming back in. They give a truck more of an old school look, especially with this billet surface. We got new pipes going up. The heat shields will cover those. So you have three things here. You got your radiator, right? This cools your engine antifreeze. Yeah, say it with me. This one here is called your charge air cooler. This actually cools the air before it goes into your engine. And then this would be where your air conditioning hooks in. But anyways, check this out. So this is the charge air cooler. Oh man, If this thing has any compromises in it, you'll lose turbo boost because your turbo pressurizes the air as it goes through here. Got a new one over in the box over there. We're gonna pop this thing off. And the radiator itself was a fairly new piece. She's out. A couple funny things. Look at that baby. That hung on that bolt there. It's actually cracked all the way through. Like the top and the bottom, you're like, what would have broken those off since they put the new radiator in? It's crazy. So as I said, this radiator's it's not entirely old. You know, it's fairly new as far as terms of miles or whatever, but just some weird things we noticed. So that being busted, my guess is they put the radiator in and with this thing in this state, stuck her back on. Who knows? I don't know. You'll never know. But what do you think busted that off of there? Oh, and then the other thing is this strange, I don't know if they had a pack rat. We're going to get the vacuum and clean that out, but I don't know. Coming in hot with the video, Jose. What do you think? Oh yeah, look at that back in there. Whoo, doggy. Got that clamp up nice. Kind of like having a cheerleader in the shop to come be like, hey man, nice, nice. Now you can visualize a little better what I was talking about earlier. There'll be one more of these. See that bracket right there, right in front of the camera? There's gonna be one more down there, a couple feet towards where the Y is. See how it's resting on the frame right now? So I've been blowing on this radiator. It's just got too much stuff in it. This guy pulled hopper trailers, which is grain and whatnot. And so a lot of dust, a lot of stuff. Just from my experience doing hoppers, you get some of that fine dust in there and it'll get a little wet and it just kind of turns into not like cement, because it'll come right out of there with some high pressure water, but it's not going to come out with the blower. So I think we're going to load this baby in the back. Gonna go get a few parts and get a little food for the belly. Okay, we're back. Got some food in the belly. Got this thing washed. I gotta show you guys this. The sign of a clean radiator is when you can see what's going on over there on the other side. See that blue bucket over on the other side or whatever? Oh, it's a sign. See that blue sign? Now when it disappears and you can't see the black anymore, like right here, it vanishes. That's because on the back side there's a shroud. So it's shrouded in secrecy. Moved to go wash this baby. Pre-wash, she was looking like a turd. She's looking like a turd, Joe. Yep. So now we'll put the new charge air cooler. What's that?
That's all the receipts.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Well, you don't have to total it all.
I just gotta pay for it. Just when I start to think this project is fun, you guys, I'm like, man, this is good. What a good time we're having. Joel just dropped these little things like that. Like, oh, don't get too excited. Here's the folder with thousands of dollars worth of receipts in it. You know, at some point, someday, it's all gonna come due. All this fun, Joe. It's gonna test our relationship, I think. You know, we'll get along so good, but I think once Joe does his math, I'm gonna, no, we will withstand the test of anything. Financial, wind, rain, fire, floods. Joe and I, All right, so she's all ready to roll. Back together. Got this new charge air cooler. Man, we're gonna have some nice, clean, cool, high pressure, blasting, manifold pushing, turbo juicing, All in the goose. Look at that. So this is what's cool. You can see through all these still. That's how clean they all are right now. You can see light all the way through there. That's passing through this and this. See that? Cool. We had just one little modification we had to make here. This has a little tang. See, like this one? This was the piece. It was busted off, this bottom one. So old Joe happened to have just the right little fun stuff. And we did a little weld action there. Got her all tight and tidy. It should be stronger than ever. So. That's the other half.
Yep.
The other half of those rubbers are the radiator sitting on top of them. So we'll go underneath and stick the... Time to slide that baby under. Joe's going up. We'll watch here and see how high we gotta go. Well, y'all, I think that was a pretty successful day. I feel like it. I got grease on my eyebrows, grease on my nose. Joe knows. I don't know. Is it isn't that's the mark of a successful day, right?
Yeah.
Like if I have a non-successful day, before I go home, I'm sure to grease and like do like the hand of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, you know? And that way when I do go home, everyone knows I've had a successful day. So it's in. Got to tighten down the motor mounts. Got a zillion little things to attach and all the little. There we go.
All the hoses, all the piping.
Hoses, piping. The big main thing you're gonna do tomorrow is
Put the tranny in.
And he's talking about the transmission. See, that's the problem with today, you guys. See, back in the day, you'd be like, I'm gonna slap a tranny in my truck, and now you say that, people are like, don't say it. It's just ruined. Everything's been ruined. So tranny is the mechanic term for transmission. And just as a reminder, we got a big, heavy 18-speed transmission to put in this. That's reman from Eaton, not a Weller reman, not an Inland, not a whoever these other outfits are that reman stuff. This is a Eaton reman, came from Eaton itself, from the man, Eaton. My favorite thing to do is to ask Joe, be like, hey, did you know what this is? What does that go to? Just like all the random stuff that's just hanging off, it's hanging off everywhere. Because that's the stuff that I'm like, I would never know where I could sit here for a day and be like, wonder what that was. Wonder where that went. But mechanics just have this photographic, because every mechanic knows everything. We don't have time to prove it to you right now, but Joe could go around on every single thing. No question. Something I want to do next time, just so that you can realize how, I didn't quite realize it till today, till I showed up and saw it with the lid off. Like everything has been replaced, resealed, redone.
Yep.
I mean, it's top to bottom. So I think as part of our next video, which will be a startup video, which are scary. Is it fun to start them up or scary? For me, it's scary. For Joe, it's scary. For you guys, it'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. But anyhow, I think we're going to go through and we just want to list everything that's been done to this so you can realize the breadth. Breadth? Isn't that a word? Right? Broadness? The breadth? I think it's a word. I think it's a word. The breadth and depth of this overhaul. So anyway, the old Coronado is one step closer to flying, you guys. So I'll keep you in the loop and we'll see you next time.